welcome to Pixel Sift Plays. My name is Mitch, and this week we're playing Hive Time. Some of you may remember this game from a couple of weeks ago when I played it, and it broke. So, yeah, this time we're doing it this will be round 2, but this time I have Josh, Valiant Cheese, Bush with me on channel. He's not in the room with me. That would be crazy. But hey Josh, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me along.
And you are the developer of this game.
Yeah. I did all the programming. I did maybe 60-70% of the art. I did all the writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Well done. Okay. So we did have a hive last time, for people who may not remember. Yeah, I'm gonna start a new one today because I was wearing different clothes and there were different things behind me, and the thought of editing all that together is a huge nightmare for me. So I'm also gonna turn on my overlays as well. That's also something I should have done from the beginning. But yes, I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. New hive. Let's go. Hopefully my internet won't break.
Fingers crossed.
Here we go. Alright, so I've already turned on the Twitch stuff. That should still be there from the last time.
It should, yeah. It might be fun to turn on early special bees, maybe. Maybe crank the special bee limit up. It's just there in the new game screen, sorry.
Oh, okay. Hang on. New hive. Early special bees. Let's do it. This is the Josh build.
Yeah, and the special bee limit is the next setting down.
Nice. So we do 2 of them, or do you think we should bump it up?
Let's crank it up a little.
Okay.
You can put it all the way up if you want.
Let's do it. So many. Will that break the game, though?
No, it shouldn't.
Okay. Alright, nice. And the queen's name will be... What should we call her? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I like the random names, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, let's do random name. Or should we call her Vanessa Amorossi? I've been listening to a lot of her recently.
Alright, let's do it.
Vanessa. Let's make sure we get the
Yeah, it'd be embarrassing.
Yeah. If anybody's wondering why I am diligently checking whether I've spelt Vanessa correct, and it sounds like a very straightforward name to spell, however, in my profession I have got so many names wrong. And it's been embarrassing. No, I would like tutorials, please. Hang on. Oh, yes. Wait. No tutorials or got it? Okay, yes. No, let's do this. First hive. Okay, so the first hive consists of a throne room. Yes, okay, I understand this. Alright. Alright, so first we need... Okay, the building. Okay. Got it. Nice. Look at it all running smoothly before I tax my graphics card to the degree that it will break. Alright, resources. Yes. We need an exit. Love it.
Exits are important.
Exits are important. Throne room. B-list. Nice. Alright, a wax assembler. Alright. Wax stores at the cost of pollen. Alright, good. Alright, so that's in roles. No? Hang on.
It's a resource.
It's a resource. Alright. Resource cells. Here we go. Wax assembler. Love it. Hello, yellow materia. Welcome. Sorry, my little chat window thing really should be a bit more thing. Also, are the chat functions working? They may not be.
Yeah, I can see, I made myself and said buzz buzz. I'm flying around there.
Nice, good. Alright, storage. I love it.
There's a vote going on at the moment that's
there is!
Recording votes, yep.
Nice. Yeah, I had trouble spelling Vanessa, seriously, it's had to look very intently at her Spotify entry list. Alright.
Well, at least it wasn't Natalie Imbruglia.
Oh, yeah. That is a name. Oh, build a nursery. Okay, this one I know. Alright, roll cells, nursery. Bam. Oh, wait, no, I don't have enough thing.
That's right, there'll be some in a sec.
Alright, here we go. Storage, here we go. Pollen.
So they'll prioritize building over producing new resources.
Right.
So once the building's finished, they'll get to work making stuff.
Mm-hmm. So the bees will like automatically... Oh, that's you. Is that you? The slow roll. The party of snail monks have stopped by. On the way to see the sunrise from the top of the tree, they humbly request their pilgrimage to be blessed with honey. I mean, sure, why not? I don't have much, but
yeah, maybe start off with like 12 honey, even though you don't have the ability to produce any, so that you could participate in things like that at the beginning.
That's cool. Well, I won't be able to make any more for a while now.
Yeah, it sort of frames things differently because it's at the beginning of the game, it's a finite resource, and so whether or not you choose to engage with those things is still sort of up in the air.
Yep. All right.
Oh, we got a ton of wax now.
I got a ton of wax now. All right, roll cells. Here we go. Nursery, it's happening. And nursery. It's amazing. Like later on, you can just spam it, just like build everything. All right, we're doing another door. Oh, hello. Oh, here we go. Yep, this is the thing that I didn't understand for a while, but I get it now. All right, we want some bees. We want some population. Maybe like there.
I think 30 something percent is a good baseline to start with.
Yeah, 30% or 21. Yeah, Purvis, I made sure I spelt Vanessa Amorossi properly. Hang on. Do I? Oh, there we go. See? There she is at the corner. Oh, wait, you can't see her. My thing's in the way. Hang on.
That's right. You can press space and then mouse over in the middle of the screen.
Oh, yeah? Or I just moved my camera. Space?
Yeah, space to toggle inspector.
Oh, look. There she is. Vanessa Amorossi, roll queen. All right. What's next? What do I want now? See, I get the same feeling in this game as when I first start playing StarCraft. Like, I first start playing a StarCraft thing, like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
It's funny to watch the base unfold, the hive unfold, you know, like, if you don't have a plan, they kind of tend to turn out differently.
Alright. Hang on. I'm gonna do another nursery.
Good call.
Hey, Quilky. Welcome to the stream, my friend. I'm not noticing the Twitch things appear. That might be because the bees just aren't in the hive.
Yeah, I haven't seen any people spawn. We did tick early special bees, right?
Yeah, hang on. So we got one here. Hang on. That's you. Yeah, that's you. This one hasn't. That's Carrie. Oh, hang on. No, that's Elizabeth. Yuda. Nice.
If you want, let's just jump back into the community settings and we'll double check that.
Good idea.
That's what it's meant to be.
All right, hang on. We'll go down here. Settings. Community. So the way this works is...
if we scroll up further down, I think that's the options.
Options...
I think this is an older version.
Oh, am I using the wrong version?
It's fine.
Alright.
You need to... So it's all set up, like all the details are fine.
Yep.
It's just that the option that automatically spawns chat bees, where it says manual chat bees there with a tick box, it's a drop down in the current version.
Yep.
But that's fine. I can trigger some chat bees to spawn, and if you prioritize upgrading the throne room, that will let them spawn on their own as well.
Nice. Okay, resume. See, this is what happens when you play with a developer. You get stuff.
There you go. There's someone.
Hey, who's this? Hang on. Stream. Welcome, Streamlabs. All right. I like how they're physically bigger as well. That's cool. All right. Sell. Resource cells. Exit. Let's just do 2 of them. We need more resources. Alright.
Who do we get this time?
Oh, who's this? Still Streamlabs.
There's a bee with glasses just flying over the throne room at the moment.
Oh, there is? Oh, yes. Who's this? It's probably Piverous. Oh, it's Quilky!
Hey!
Ah, Quilky. You're a bit of a bee with glasses. Alright. Roll cells. Wax assembler. Alright, I actually kind of forgot how the tech tree works. So, resource cells. Oh, nope, hang on. Roll.
Workshop?
Workshop. That's the one. That's the one I wanted. Yeah, so basically, quickly, your chat will show up if you have a chat bee. They should become more frequent as I progress through the game, but yeah, it's got chat integration. Oh, hello. Nice. Okay, got it. Okay, I need to assign some builders, though. Population, builders are coming up. Let's keep it about the same. Wow. What is that? Alright, research.
It's all the stuff that Quilky can do with their bee.
Oh. Yeah, so you can do stuff, Quilky. Oh, I remember I was really close to a particular upgrade last time, but that's alright. So these are... I've got these already, haven't I?
Yeah.
Okay, bee upgrades, I've got them. So to unlock more of these, like, upgrades, I just need to do this kind of thing.
Yeah, the workshop and the throne room upgrades both unlock new research options.
Okay, so... Alright, so storage... Pollen... How do I... Alright, let's do a storage cell. Nectar... And then we're going to do a couple of these. Oh, wait, no, they're already... I like watching them go over there and build stuff. It's very satisfying. I'd move Cam to the bottom left or right. Okay, okay. Alright, let's just throw it over here then. And, very professional. And then,
I didn't make a UI that was friendly towards this at all.
That's alright.
Every corner is occupied by HUD and every side, and there's just like, there's nowhere except middle left maybe that doesn't sometimes end up with something there.
That's alright, we'll try it. Bottom left. Okay, it's on the bottom left. I will keep taking suggestions on where to put this stuff. Resource. Alright, how do I make the... Hang on, roll... Workshop? No, hang on. I need research. Wax storage, here we go.
There you go.
And is that ticking over? Or do I need to... Oh, there it is. Okay, cool.
Yeah, builders have to go there first.
Oh, Cookie said something smart in the chat. Yeet it all and get a green screen. I don't like using green screens, Cookie.
I loved painting this guy. I like really sucked at doing the legs.
Oh yeah?
Miriam ended up doing the legs for us, but
is that a
door-to-door sales grasshopper?
Oh, okay. It kind of looked like a praying mantis a bit.
Oh yeah, he does.
Sorry, my my Microsoft brain cancelled it almost immediately. Okay, research. It's done. Wax storage. Okay, cool.
Woo. Oh no, it's got a little bit left to go. There's like a progress bar going around the
oh,
the
right,
cell.
yep. Oh, it'll prioritize the building first, though.
Yeah.
Gotta scoot. Good luck. Have fun. All right, see you, Cookie. Thanks for joining
Thanks
in.
for dropping by.
Yeah, oh, here we go. The foundations of a hive successful. Your productive population. What, hang on. Your hive has a productive population, and you're able to have newbies specialize in particular roles. Nice. All right, let's do this. All right, back it out a bit.
So once you've got like a fairly sizable builder population, you can start plonking down construction, but there's more than enough bees to do the construction, and then the surplus bees will continue to do research.
Yep. I think that's kind of where I was at with
I think
the
you had
last
a good
game.
population going.
Yeah. I kind of like this bit of the game because as soon as like you do get a good population, it's like, oh, I kind of like the management of it.
Yeah. The things that you have to manage shift a little bit once your population is large enough that it's not as subject to fluctuations and stuff. I tend to find when I'm playing that I try and do low population hives, so try and keep it around maybe 40 bees, which is pretty tough. You got to be really optimized in order to make that jelly that you need with those few bees.
All right, let's just go. Let's hit him with a bunch of nurseries. A yellow materia. Okay, that you should be able to have a bee. Oh, there you are. You've got one. There you are.
There you go.
Yellow materia. You are age 17. You're a worker and you're bumbling.
What kind of hat you got there? Do you have any hat?
I don't know. This seems like a... Oh, customized. Here we go.
You can go customized and say, yeah, no hat.
No hat. What would you like, yellow materia? Bee sitter, builder. You want a witch's hat?
It turns out that nobody aside from Australians call them witches' hats.
Oh, yeah?
It's like a traffic cone.
Oh, right. No one else calls them witches' hats. It's like it's an Aussie thing. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there are a lot of confused Hive Time players out there.
All right, let's get more workers. Let's make that happen. The VLC logo. Maybe for Americans, you should just call it the VLC logo.
Miriam used to call them VLCBs. Oh, it also turns out that some people don't pronounce lichen with a hard C.
How do they pronounce it? Lichen?
Like lichen or something.
Lichen? Is as in lichen, as in like werewolf, as in...
No, lichen as in the moss thing.
Right. Oh no, I didn't want it to be a nursery. Hang on. No, cancel. What did I want again? Workshop. There we are. This will be the workshop area.
And sometimes I just zone out and watch my bees do stuff. It's pretty neat.
It is very tempting to just stare at them for a bit. Oh, hang on. Alright. Let's do a bit of cell work over here. Oh, wait, no. I like this, holding down, You are still alive. You got the VLC hat on. The witch's hat on. You're still alive. There you are. Alright. What do we need? I think we need nectar storage. That's what we need. Resource. Nope. Storage. Nectar. Here we go. Boom. Bam. Look at that. Play Raid Shadow Legends. Hello, Mr. Hodgepants. Welcome. We will not be playing Raid Shadow Legends. I think they owe me money now that I've even said the word right on stream. Is that how this works? They owe me, I think, like $1 or something.
It's worth a red hot go.
I should email them. Alright, so these are your commands. Thicker, what does that mean? Does it make you bigger? Is that...
makes you wider.
Oh.
You stay like the same size, but just get real fat.
Someone try that. I might do one, actually. I might just post something real quick and just make me have one. Here we go.
Yeah. Well, you can... you might need some more pollen before you do it, but you can click on the throne room and spawn a special bee manually, I think.
Right. Okay, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that. Storage cells. I'm going to do pollen storage. There we are. And I think I'm going to need more exits, actually. Resource, exit.
In the meantime, I can just make one. Yoink.
Alas. The rainy season, no! That's okay. Oh, Purvis is still alive. Good, there you are. Alright, upgrade the throne room. Vanessa Amorossi deserves a new throne room.
Oh, we gotta research it first, I think.
Ah, okay, research. Here we go. Map room? No, hang on. Already researched.
Oh, it's under sell upgrades.
Yeah. Aha! There we go.
Nice.
Visit pixelsift.com.au. Yes, you should visit pixelsift.com.au. So for those of you just joining us, Hive Time. We're making some cells. Oh no, I pulled them off the research thing. Oh well.
There's one there with earmuffs.
Oh, who's that? Let's have a look. Oh, it's me!
Hooray!
Oh, I'm 58.
I love the earmuffs. I think they come out great.
Alright, hang on, I like them too. Oh, hang on. So how is it... Exclamation mark... Thick, was it?
I think it was thicker.
Thicker. Alright, I want to make my bee big.
Yeah, you can do it a few times. Twitch doesn't like you doing the same message more than once, but if you like just stick some numbers on the end, it'll match the stuff that the game looks for.
So is it 58? So what does that 58 correlate to? Is that 58 days?
Seconds.
Seconds. All right.
That's like seconds of real time. It's arbitrary units of bee time.
Yep. Arbitrary units of bee time. I love that. Here we go. We're building more workshops so the bees can do their thing. All right, let's do this. Upgrade throne room. Bam. Vanessa Amorossi's getting a new throne room.
Nice. In the first release of the game, I didn't have the like scaffold throne there.
Oh yeah.
And so she just kind of sat in midair while the throne was built around her.
All right, let's see what else.
Can I drop a link in chat?
Sure. Yeah.
So this is links to some slides that I did on the chat integration features that we've got access to here, how I went about assessing chat integration in the games that inspired me, how I went about deciding what I wanted the game to be, and then how I went about implementing that and stuff. So a whole bunch of technical things and a couple of jokes. It's as all good slideshows should have.
Do you want to also post that in the Discord? Because it may get lost in the chat, but you're more than welcome to post it in the Discord as well. And Epivorous is blocking my UI, you jerk, with your bee talk.
There you go, I'll just stick it in game.
Alright, hang on. Storage cells. I need more nectar. Nectar storage. Who's this? Valiant Cheese, that's your bee.
It's me.
Oh, Bill.
Bill's a special bee.
Bill the bee. Oh, okay. What does he do?
It looks like
upgraded bee sitter.
So what happens if a special bee spawns normally? And there's no available chat users? Then it'll just be a normal special bee like they were before I added chat integration.
Yep. All right. Let's just build some more. We're building out. I always get nectar and thing mixed up. Nectar and pollen mixed up.
Pollen.
I think pollen, but do nectar.
So pollen's like yellow.
And
nectar's kind of like really, like real nectar is kind of clear, but clear doesn't really translate very well into to something that you can see in game.
And is nectar and pollen, they're different things, right, that bees collect? Because that's something I learned from this game.
Yeah, so the bees mostly just drink the pollen. Drink the nectar, sorry.
Yep.
And the pollen gets like all over them because, they're messy eaters, I guess. And then when they go off to another flower or whatever, they will spread that pollen to the other flower, and that's kind of how the pollination works. So generally speaking, the nectar is what the bee is after, and the pollen is the flower kind of hitching a romantic joyride along the way.
Yep. Alright, I need more of this. Rolls. No, I need... See, later on, I'm going to have to, like, really organize all of this because my brain doesn't like all the nectar over here and the pollen over here. It's got to be organized.
You can always remodel later.
I can. That's the best bit later on. It's like, oh, you can organize it, make it look good.
It's funny, some people are really averse to destroying stuff and sort of making new things, or replacing things and shuffling things around. It's really interesting. I thought, when you discover what shapes the upgrades are, you're like, oh, here's an interesting way that I can think about construction differently as I progress further through the game. But for some people, it was like, no, it just means that I've made all these mistakes. It's like, horses for courses, I guess.
Are these logs and things that you can't navigate around, are they different every time you launch? Or are they the same?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
And if you leave to found a new hive, then it'll be a fresh set of obstacles as well. And sometimes they're dense and sometimes they're not dense, and I think it adds some texture to the possibility space that you're exploring in an interesting way.
Yeah.
Before I implemented them, I found that most people would build the same hive. They would kind of build radially outward in a circle, in a sort of clockwise fashion, which was an interesting phenomenon to observe, but not really. In my mind, it's a sign of not making interesting decisions while you're playing. If every cell provides as much benefit as every other cell, then you're not making any decisions. But if this cell is likely to help you expand into an area where you can build a lot more, that's going to feel a little bit different from a cell that allows you to or that doesn't really give you space to explore,
Yep. All right. I keep not noticing the rules that are coming up in the corner. I'm like, oh. All right.
That's the keep voting stuff.
All right, research. Here we go. Let's do this. I want more things. All right, don't need a barracks just yet. Honey storage, no. Bee upgrades. Here we go. Tool belts. There we are. I would like that.
The bee upgrades are fairly late game things.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I need honey for that.
I'd say probably a map room or a honey refinery at this stage. Probably going to be your best.
And you can still can you queue up the upgrades, or can you only do them one at a time?
Yeah. If you click another one now, then that one will be paused and its progress will be saved.
Yep.
And it'll flick back to it automatically once the other one's finished.
All right, cool. Okay, I think I'll do map room, honey refinery, and cell upgrade. I liked this ability, cell cluster.
Yeah, it's nice to plonk down a whole bunch of cells.
And nursery upgrade. I liked that too. Oh, hang on. There we go. All right. Okay, let's try it. Roll cells, map room. Okay, so map room is something that I never quite got my head around when I was playing the first time.
So there's a couple of benefits that you get from each role specific cell. The primary one is that it unlocks that role and allows you to make forages, and they can collect more resources than normal workers, and that's really easy to see and understand the benefit of. But the foraging thing kind of provides an abstract view of the world around the hive, and you can spend bees to explore them. Some of them might be pollinated and give you extra resources, and you can choose which ones the bees are visiting as part of their foraging.
And the amount of map rooms will dictate how many forages you can get.
Yes, yeah. Same. So we can see it says 5 out of 2 at the moment, so the hive can only support 2 normally, but at the moment they'll live half their normal lifespan.
Yep.
Until it's back under capacity. And I didn't want that to be a hard limit. I felt like, if the population shifts dramatically and suddenly you've got a lot more than you can handle, then, I won't take away those bees directly. I'll just they live a bit shorter, and you're kind of on borrowed time a bit there, but maybe you can do something with that.
So an upgraded workshop, does that just ups the capacity of the workers, doesn't it? Without taking up more space.
Yeah. So it gives you +2 to your worker population capacity, but it also unlocks a bunch of extra research options, which you only need one of, right? Like, to unlock those options.
Wax assembler upgrade. Oh, here we go.
What is this?
Comes with figurative guarantee. Hive to Hive sales grasshopper. All right.
These papers are
pollen directly into jelly. All right, that sounds exciting. We're gonna do it. Or should we? What should we do? We can vote.
I don't know.
Hashtag B for.
I'm gonna vote for B.
You vote for B.
I really wanted this one to feel like it was a risk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's drawing attention to the fact that it might not do what it's advertising.
Yep.
But it doesn't actually have a negative outcome.
Oh, okay. Nice. Mr. Hodgepants, we went B, and it worked out.
It was good. We got a bunch of jelly.
Yeah, but I can't store any more of it, so it's fine.
Yeah, we're full now. I think we had 7 before, so we got a bit.
Oh, hang on, did I just break that?
That's the upgraded workshop.
Oh, whoops, I upgraded it instead. Alright, hang on. I need cells. I want upgraded...
Oh, we can build a honey refinery now.
Oh, we can? Oh, we can, yes. Roll cells.
It's a resource cell.
It's a resource cell. Yep, I knew that. Alright, and it's the weird shape. Okay. Resource. Nope. Rolls.
No,
nope. It's resource. It was correct. Honey. Let's do it.
There we go.
Alright,
so every cell type has its own sort of unique shape. And for every shape that there's sort of a mirrored one. So the jelly refinery ends up being the horizontally mirrored version of the honey refinery.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the upgraded map room, there's no equivalent to that. If I do an upgraded exit, then it will take that shape.
Oh, an upgraded exit! I always thought an upgraded exit would be cool.
So I think if I did an upgraded exit, it would be more or less the same as the upgraded production facilities, where it will automatically dump resources into adjacent storage cells.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so honey, we need storage cells. Here we go. I know this storage. Oh, we need to upgrade that, don't we? Research. Honey storage. Bam. Look at that.
There we go.
It's happening. Alright, we might as well, while all the workers are there, while all the builders are there. Nope, you're still alive here, Materia, you're there. In the corner. Oh, wait, I need honey for that. Okay, cell upgrades. Let's have a look. Where was the nursery one? Did I already do that? Oh, here we go. Yep. I need honey for that. Oh, I need storage.
I should have enough honey now.
I have 1 off.
Oh, was it 25?
It's totally 25.
Wow, I'm not very generous there, am I?
No, it's all good. We're about to have it. Come on, worker bees.
Oh, who's got that cool welding mask?
Oh, wow, that's cool. Hang on, let's have a look. Leonard. Nice.
I think that's just a random special bee.
Okay, I have the capacity for 24. I mean, 64. 64 honey. Look at that. Amazing. I love this cluster mechanic. It's so good.
Originally, I wanted to sort of use the UI to maintain a slow pace, and so like get you to click on every cell individually. And there were people who were testing who were like, "No, I really just like plonking down a lot of cells." And for a while, I kind of resisted it, but I ended up adding the repeat shortcut in, and they were totally right. It is a lot of fun.
I do very much like, and it held over from StarCraft. Like I didn't even have to look it up.
Yeah.
Oh, the workers outnumber the
bourgeois.
The bourgeois. Rise up. That's true. All right, let's focus. What was I doing now? We need... All right, go on then. Map room upgrade. I'll take it. And nursery upgrade. There you go.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, you get to see the get to see the automatic resuming of stuff. They're tearing through that. Look at them go. Oh, we're going to get a new queen hat here. This is going to be good.
Oh, right.
There we go. Nice.
Okay, cool. Alright, now we can start upgrading these. So then... Oh god!
No.
Gone as quickly as they came! During a raid, ninja fruit flies have infiltrated a hive, sneaking into the throne room and making off with a statuette of the queen's favourite rose. Are you serious? They also grabbed as much of each resource as they could carry. That's ridiculous. No way.
Oh, she's got like that stupid cake hat that the queen wears?
Activity being regal. Nice.
And she's destination nowhere. She's not going anywhere.
Oh, new chat bee. Bam. Let's do another one. Oh, wait.
I think we're out of people. I think everyone who's active in chat has one.
Nice. It's good. Alright. Upgrade nursery. Look at that.
Woo!
We're doing it.
I really enjoyed painting the pictures for the back of the
You mentioned the last time. Well, let's get right in there and check them out.
So the non-upgraded ones are based on other drawings that Miriam and I had done, but the ones in the upgraded nursery are ones that I did fresh for this game. I really like that blue one.
Yeah.
The white bee. It's just...
I like it too. Do you imagine there's
versions of them as well?
Oh, you should definitely post those.
Yeah, I'll grab them. I'll stick them in Discord.
Do you imagine that there's more, like, on the other side, but you just never see it because of, like...
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Early on, I was kind of toying with the idea of allowing you to rotate the camera.
Yep.
But Miriam was fairly against the idea, since it would mean that we'd have to, make them look good from multiple angles. I think like a selfie mode, like a little photo mode, where the bee takes a photo of itself, and then you get to see that view.
That's pretty cool.
In a little window was something that fell by the wayside as well.
All right, we're doing it. It's happening. We're getting there.
Nice, 103 bees.
All right. Did we ever make the map room? I don't think we did.
Yeah, we got 4 map rooms down there below the throne room.
Below the... Oh, those things. Oh, these are the map rooms. Yep. All right, we're upgrading them.
So the upgraded map room has, on the little consoles that they got there, screenshots from another one of my games.
I like how it's like kind of like a NASA headquarters. Like it's...
Yeah.
It's where all the scholars live. All the smart bees. And, Piverus says, special event, Valiant Cheese, the bees unionize.
Yeah, I'm thinking... See, the thing is, like, bees are already kind of democratic.
Right.
And Queen does most of the reproduction, but the workers kind of do little dances to say, I found something cool, and whoever thinks it's cool repeats that dance, and so it's, like, all down to whether or not it has popular acceptance. It is whether or not that dance gets repeated and whether or not the bees go out that way. So, like, any bee can do a dance, and it's down to whatever the rest of the population thinks is valuable.
There you have it, Gianni. Learned something today. Can the bees do the floss? Sure, why not?
I was gonna do like a couple. Well, maybe I still will. I want to do a couple of things where the queen might dance.
Oh yeah,
because she's got animations now.
Yep.
When I don't know, when you first played, you might have noticed, you might not have noticed, but the queen didn't move at all.
Yes, I did notice that.
And I feel like it's one of those things where you notice it and you go, okay, the queen doesn't move, and you don't think about it again.
Yep.
But I was submitting it to an awards thing, and the kind of experience that a player has where they're like, okay, that's how it is, I'm not bothered, is very different to someone who's assessing a game or judging a game, and they write that down and they come back and think about it later, So at that point, I was like, all right, well, time to add some queen animations in.
Yep.
So There's a bunch of sort of low energy idle animations that she does, and then between those she'll do some kind of action, whether that's like waving at the camera or looking around or scratching her head or fixing her crown or playing with her antennae or something. You know, like so a bunch of different things that happen.
I would kind of compare it to I forgive me for comparing your game to StarCraft, but it reminds me of like little portrait animations in the when the unit is kind of idling or whatnot. They will just kind of make a face or they'll check out, you know, what's going on.
Yep.
Or even the stuff they say, like when they just like kind of like are just hanging out.
Nice yawn animation there. I think that might be my favorite one. That yawning with 6 legs. Oh, hang on, I can trigger that.
Oh, you can?
I think it's Queen Stretch 1. I should probably write them down somewhere.
I've played other games, Gianni. Like Destiny and Overwatch.
There we go. She's doing it now.
Wait, I'll zoom in.
Oh my goodness, like, Twitch, come on.
She's actually a lot more detailed than I thought. Like, actually zooming in on her. Oh, one of them's got a pencil. Look at that.
Like the way the leg kind of twitches as she's at the apex of the stretch there. It's good. Oh no, our bee sitters.
Are they dying?
Oh, there's like the 2 vote options.
Oh no.
Bee sitters or kill workers.
Oh no. Surely not.
Yep. Those chat users, you can't trust them.
Yeah.
If there's no votes, then none of the options get picked. If it's a tie, they get picked randomly.
Might just open my window real quick. There we are. That's better. Alright. Where was I? Okay. I was wondering, can you hear people laughing in the background of my mic?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Alright, staying closed.
Someone's having fun.
It's staying closed. I think neighbors are being
It's Friday already, come on.
It is Friday, you're right.
Is it a long weekend or something?
No.
What is with people?
Oh, it's not Friday, it's Thursday. What's going on?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not even Friday.
Oh well. Get them to laugh louder, please. I can't hear them. I could tell them to shut up. Nah, it's fine. They can do whatever they want. What was I doing again? Bee upgrades. Here we go. Let's have a look.
I think you're gonna need jelly for all of them.
Ooh, okay. Alright, let's work on it. Jelly time.
It's back in cells.
It is back in cells. Jelly refinery, here we are.
Looks like the population's recovered from those bee sitters disappearing. That was nice. But yeah, when the game first shipped, I didn't have the Beepedia or anything in there.
Right.
And I wanted to show that all the things you could do were abilities that were equivalent to what you could research. So having them presented as research options that were already researched also gave me the ability to let you mouse over them and see what they did. And so that was my kind of explaining what the different things do if people want to find out about that before I had the thing. Oh, it's the Yam Party. I didn't even see the first one.
The trio of dung beetles have returned. So is this a flow-on from another thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I may have, by accident...
It happens.
Yeah, I may have accidentally moused over it, because I'm like, oh, get rid of the pop-up.
But this is like extended. This event was in the game originally, but it was just one event, and this is the follow-up.
Okay.
And the music's new as well. Peter composed some new music for the last update that we did.
Nice.
And so now you get to decide what kind of benefits you're going to get out of the recurring thing.
All right. What do we think? We want B. All right. Keep distant. Let's do it.
So if we go into the map room now.
Yep. Oh, right, the map room. Yeah, okay, hang on.
Yeah, into the foraging.
Oh, what? Hang on, 1 second. Yep, here we go.
There we go. So we can use the second button to explore in the right, top right there.
Yep, this one?
Yep, and we can explore the different question marked things.
Yep.
And that will show us more areas around the hive that we can select for. So that one's got a like a special pollen flower in it, and if that is selected for foraging, then the bees will pick up extra pollen when they go there.
Right. Okay.
Until it's depleted, but I'm pretty sure that pollen flower is probably what those dung beetles left behind after their party.
It's cool how you can like kind of imagine like there's other things going on apart from this hive, like in this world.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've ever played a game called Flotilla.
No, I haven't.
It's by Brandon Chung, Blendo Games, who made Gravity Bone and 30 Flights of Loving, Quadrilateral Cowboy. But it's this kind of simultaneous turn-based capital ship space combat game.
Yep.
Where you kind of, in 3D space, queue up where your ship is going to go and whether it's going to move fast, whether it's going to shoot, or what's going to happen. And the enemy AI does the same thing, and then you press go and you see what happens.
Right.
But between the combat encounters are these kind of weird, zany events that are just completely unexpected. There's like these cat space pirates have come to steal your milk or something, or there's like a flamingo merchant guy, and there are these business pigs and stuff, and they're you decide whether or not you're going to help them, or you find that there's baby space yetis eating all the cables on your ship, and you got to decide whether or not you're just going to kick them out the airlock or whether you're going to look after them. And it's just I just really, really love the sense of there being this larger universe behind what's going on, and that it's weird and unexpected. And I kind of wanted to do something similar for this, so that was a big inspiration for the events here in Hive Time.
All right, I've got jelly. It's happening.
Woohoo!
So I've noticed that you've got a 1 next to queen up here. Does that mean you could have 2?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there's one of the bee upgrades is cooldown reduction for the amount of time between queen spawns.
Right.
So it was really, really hard to find. It's Royal Apprenticeships at the top there. It was really, really hard. I spent a long time trying to find a name for that upgrade that didn't boil down to babies making babies.
Right, yep.
Because it's like, how old does the queen have to be before you can make a new queen? That's what the cooldown kind of represents. And then reducing that is like, well, what does that mean? What does that imply?
Yeah, I get it.
But I think it came out okay. Royal Apprenticeships is nice. The things you have to think about when you're a game designer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the way that it pans out at the moment, the most you can have is 3 queens at once.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other upgrades you can do for the queen will allow you to, or will give every subsequent queen that spawns a set of random effects, and some of them will be positive and some of them will be negative.
Right.
And so that's where having multiple queens really plays a big impact. So you could have a queen that doubles, forager productivity, and you could have another queen that halves honey resource production or something, and the combinations of different queens can influence things in interesting ways.
Yep.
The build that we're not playing at the moment has some new queen effects that are kind of a little bit more rare, but they do, rather than the kind of effects that you get out of events, they do weird different things. Like one of them is that the queen wears like this perfume that has bear pheromones in it, so bear attacks happen more frequently.
Right.
And there's another one that makes you forget all of your tier 3 research.
Right.
Wow, look how small our bees are.
Oh, small bees. Oh, the queen is sitting... the queen is small as well.
Her feet don't reach the ground.
That's pretty cool. Alright, let's do resource. We need some exits. There we are. Baby bees. So did chat do that? Or did you do that?
Yeah, that was a voting.
Oh,
outcome.
nice. Alright, let's do another honey. Resource. Honey refinery. Bam. Look at that. And that's just the cosmetic thing, right? The baby bees. It's just...
Oh, yeah. Small bees is cosmetic.
Yeah, nice. Alright. What do we need now? Storage. We're gonna go honey storage. Bam.
That's not what it is. Must be wide bees. Let me try that.
I've been looking forward to seeing wide.
There they are.
Oh no. Look at them. Brilliant. That is
stupid.
That is so bizarre.
And it looks weird, like the orthographic camera makes it feel very strange. But I think my favorite of the cosmetic bee effects is this one though. If you zoom in and check out those bees.
Is it stretched bees or is it flat?
They're just flat.
They're just 2D.
Just 2D bees.
Look at the queen. What have I done to you? Oh man. So what's this command called? Is it...
So it's the same as the chat voting one.
Oh, okay.
It'll put them back to normal eventually on its own.
Well, what's this effect called? Flat bees? Or is it...
Oh, narrow bees.
Narrow bees. I like that. Alright, let's build. We're expanding.
Gonna build more jelly stuff. Yes,
that's what I need to do.
Oh, I think that there's a notification down the bottom left that says that the foraging, that probably that bloom has exhausted.
Oh, right. Yep. Okay, up here is going to be my... Flavored Horace has been lobbying for strawberry flavored jelly for a long time, but every bee thinks it's just a bad idea. I kind of like it.
Yeah, so I sort of wanted to give them all a sense of personality, right?
Yeah.
The idea that they have because like you think about other management sims and city builders, they're often abstracting away the individual needs of a person into what is the populace's needs. And I wanted to make sure, especially with this as a game that's about generational churn, as it were, and embracing the idea that your bees are only going to live 90 seconds, and that's okay. It's everybody's contributing to this thing that's bigger than any one bee, but but the individual identities of every bee does matter within that context, I think.
Yeah, that's actually what I like about Hive Time, because like you can kind of see like different opinions. Because it's something that's like not present in StarCraft almost. Like like all you get out of a StarCraft unit is like maybe a kill count. And, like how many like kills they've gotten, and to me that's like I don't know. It's like could be better.
It's like maybe if you're lucky you'll get to see Jim Raynor rev his space bike a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. And not that those games are specifically shallow or uninteresting.
No, definitely not.
They're just not primed to do this sort of stuff. Yeah.
And I don't think it's what their audience really demands either. From StarCraft. Like, they don't really... But I think it's, like, cool that, like, you can come in with what you do. And then, like... Yeah. It's awesome.
There's room for a lot of different stuff.
Here we are. Remember those random events in my SimCity which were a bit like that? I'd always protect my veterans in StarCraft though. Yeah, so the StarCraft units did rank up, but it didn't really mean much. Like it didn't make them look different.
That was only in StarCraft 2 though, right?
StarCraft 2, I think they started to look different.
I don't think did StarCraft 1 have like any kind of veteran stat? I don't think you had that in StarCraft 1. I'm pretty sure they introduced that with StarCraft 2.
They did get different names, but in terms of whether or not they could do different things or appear different, I don't think that happened. I did it again. I made a nectar when I thought I was doing pollen storage.
Have you upgraded the storage?
Maybe? Hang on.
I don't think we've researched storage upgrades.
Alright, 1 second. I'm just gonna do all this first. That's honey, it's not... That's the opposite of what I wanted to do. No! Yeah, I'm not bright.
Good times. Good times.
Hang on, we've got jelly storage, we've got...
Oh, okay, so the reset... No, that's not the upgraded one. So
oh, okay. Cell upgrades? Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Pollen is what we need. Oh! Uh-oh. Wasp's construction crew. Oh, okay, that's good. I need more construction bees because...
Yeah.
I just made a very critical infrastructure error.
Oh, we're out of wax.
We're out of wax now. Great.
It's fine. It's fine. It'll pick back up in a sec.
Yep. They say alas when they die. They do. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Alright, I might just crack my window a little bit. There we are. It's amazing how much that sound comes through. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, yellow material. There should be enough bees for everybody to still have one, even if yours dies. Okay, storage. Okay? Where is it? Pollen is what I want.
Yeah, we're running kind of low on pollen. If we can do a pollen upgrade, though, we can set a reserve and make that a bit easier to manage.
Right. Okay, so if we... Yes, you do. Yellow material, you're over there. See? Okay. Research. Pollen storage upgrade. So will this apply to all the ones currently existing, or...?
No, it's like the nursery upgrade or whatever.
Right.
You've got to actually... build or upgrade the existing pollen cells.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you might want to just pause honey production to give pollen a chance to build back up.
How do you... So do you just... Oh, you pause production, right. And does that pause it on all of them?
Yeah. So
cool.
the thing I wanted was for the hive to be kind of your interface into the game's mechanics. And so for just about any cell, excluding barracks, which have like... they cover a particular region. I wanted to make it so that one cell was kind of a representation of all of the cells in the hive. Yep. So if you look at the storage cells, one storage cell shows the height of, like, the capacity of every storage cell.
That's cool. It'd be good, like, it's good that you don't have to, like, click on all of them. But I guess then you could, like, maybe slow it down. Alright. Pollen. Storage. Pollen. My goodness.
You got this.
It's not that hard, Mitch. Drink responsibly. Oh my god. It has come to light that the hive's foragers have been attending butterfly nectar raves and have come back from the hive particularly smeared. It seems forager harvesting will be reduced until they can get it out of their system. Oh my god, look at that image.
That was some like
that's really so good.
Dirty, like quick and dirty concept art that I did. I wanted to explain the kind of thing that I had in mind because I think Miriam was going to paint it properly, and then everybody loved it, so it stayed. Yeah,
it's good. I like it. I'm a big fan of that.
This music is new too.
Oh yeah.
We ended up calling it "Drop That Bee Like It's Hot."
And is the music available to listen to? Anywhere?
I don't think this track is in the soundtrack just yet. I think Peter was hoping to do that at some point, but the soundtrack is available on Bandcamp.
Ooh, there we are.
And I'll drop a link in chat for anybody who wants to check it out.
I can't hear the music. Oh no. Let's have a look. Settings. Let's have a look at my audio. Oh, why is the master volume that low? Okay, there we are. I might just bring the music up a bit. There we are. How's that? Is that better? Is it because DMCA? No. No. That shouldn't be the case. At least, I hope not. Because I'm literally playing the game on stream with the developer. That would be awkward, though.
Yeah, I think
bit better?
Just quite.
Yeah, sorry.
Let me see if I can play that track again.
Yeah, try play it again.
Did that work? Did I misspell that?
Oh no. Alright, what was I doing now? Okay, hang on.
I guess the music command is busted in this one. That sucks.
That's alright, I'll play the next time we do this. And we're doing this again because I need to do this game justice. Oh, how's that music? That's playing. Okay, upgrade. Oh, here we go. Wow. Okay. Oh wow, that's a big...
I guess the music command must have been busted in that. That one. That sucks.
That's one of the biggest cells, I think, apart from the throne room. Look at that.
Yeah, same size as the upgraded throne room. So if you click on it now, you'll be able to set a reserve of pollen that won't be consumed by production. So if you want to keep something aside for research or construction, you can do that. So if you want to research one of those bee upgrades or something where you need 250 pollen, then...
Alright, let's reserve it at... See, this must be what it must be like running a country.
You can unpause the honey now.
Yep. Look at that. I know what I'm doing. It's like the stock market, except this is not borderline criminal.
It's a little bit less exploitative.
All right. Except this is actually a game. Instead of everyone making money off GameStop. Hilarious.
Game Go, right?
Game Go? Is there a new one?
No, it's just like it's GameStop, but it's going. At least in the short term. I got a hunch it's not going to last.
Game stonks. Wax assembler upgrade. Alright, hang on. Let's see if we got everything here. Can I afford some bee upgrades now, maybe? Royal apprenticeships. Alright.
Could you afford the tool belts there?
I can.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Upgraded workers. Nice.
Yeah.
Probably want to get more jelly storage going at some point as well.
Which one is that? Jelly. Here we go. Oh wait, I need more jelly to do that. Alright, storage, jelly storage, here we go.
Bram? I love the way they fly across in little waves.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. Windy season, no way. The gale out there, foragers and workers will be able to collect less pollen, but have more time for finding nectar. Alright. Get some royal jelly. That's the idea.
So if you don't have enough resources, the only the only consequence of not having enough resources is that you can't build stuff and you can't research stuff, and maybe some event outcomes aren't available to you.
Yep. Get some aeroplane jelly.
I didn't want it to, become a thing that destroys your population.
Right.
I feel like the population itself is kind of fragile enough already. There's enough forces that can shake things up.
Yep. Alright, I think it's time to do more of this over here. Oh, here they come. I love that. Look at them go. Building the hive out.
Most of this behavior was kind of emergent out of the initial, sort of temporary implementation I did for bee movement, and it just looks so good that it stayed.
It does kind of look like you're watching a real hive just build. Midlife crisis. It's the queen's birthday. Not just any birthday. It's the big old 1/2. Halfway through a queen's average lifespan. Exciting times. Nice.
Yeah, so it's really simple stuff. The thing that gives it the kind of organic movement feel is that it takes them the same amount of time to get from any cell to any other cell. So if they're moving to a close cell, they go real slow. If they're moving to a far cell, they fly real fast.
Right. Yep.
And it just kind of manifests in a way that that feels really natural.
And is that something that came about by accident?
It was something that I designed from a mechanics perspective, where I was like, I generally speaking, I want layout to mostly be cosmetic.
Yep. Because I have noticed that things like placement of things only seems to really matter to my brain. Like, it doesn't actually matter where things are.
It's like it matters for upgrades, and if you get the upgraded production facilities where it needs to put stuff into adjacent storage, then it kind of comes into play. But other than that, I wanted to let you paint your hive however you want, right? And some people infer or assume that layout matters more than it does, and if that gives them an interesting experience, then that's fantastic. That's cool. But yeah, broadly speaking, I wanted it to not matter. And so coming out of that, the idea of every cell is equally distant from every other cell just, is part of not making layout matter. But then it gave this really nice bee movement.
Yep.
We haven't blacklisted Gianni, have we?
I don't know. Yeah, it seems... Gianni, can you talk?
Do you have a bee? Let's go and check.
Hang on.
The community settings.
Settings. Also love this menu.
Yeah. So down the bottom is a manage blacklist option.
We've got Nightbot. Oh, why are you blacklisted?
I guess we clicked on the
did I accidentally blacklist a Pivorus by accident? Whoops. If only I could do that. If only I could do that in real life.
Menu was something I wanted to do from the very beginning, and it was all about setting an expectation or a feel or a tone where everything's is kind of like it's really only the first one. Like, it looks like the tiles have the text on the back and they flip over, right?
Yes.
That only happens on the very first tile. Every other tile, it just fades in, but you don't notice because you've had that expectation set. You've had that impression of going, oh wow, cool, that it's all flippy and interesting. And then it's got the bee silhouettes flying around and stuff, and I just really wanted something that looked and behaved as it did, and kind of. I have a lot of people tell me that the UI in this game is really good, and I honestly don't think it is, but I feel like it does a good job of masquerading as being good.
But isn't that just half the battle? Like, if you masquerade, it's perfect. Like it.
Yeah, if it gives the impression of being good and people feel like they're having a good time, then what's the difference? It's also themed. All the hexagons, people go, oh wow, that's an interesting thematic consistency, and that's something that sticks in your mind and makes you think about the UI, whereas if it was just square boxes, you wouldn't think about it at all, and just by virtue of being on your mind, you go, oh yeah, it must be cool.
Gianni says, I want this in the VOD. Mitch, you're blacklisted. Epivorous, I hope you're clipping stuff, because remember, you're doing the social media clips this week, so do the thing. Alright, let's do some storage upgrades, I think. We're gonna research. Oh! The patter of tiny feet. An extraordinarily long caterpillar with dreams of becoming a ballet dancer has come to the hive to ask for a loan of jelly in order to buy silk for all the ballet shoes they will need. I would be eternally in your debt, says the caterpillar. Alright, yeah. I mean, I'm good with this. What do we think?
Take the jelly, you little angel!
Look at her. Adorable. Alright, we're doing it. Yes.
I love this event chain. It's probably my favorite, maybe?
Oh, yeah? I feel like Vanessa Amorossi would be like, yeah, absolutely. Have the
Hell yeah, live that dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the idea of, like, I was like, something needs your most expensive resource, and I was like, oh yeah, like, cool ballet shoes sounds like fun. What is the most ludicrous thing to be doing ballet? And I was like, what has the most feet? You know, it was either a caterpillar or a centipede.
Right.
Or a millipede or something, but the caterpillar turned out to be a lot better choice because it gave me a lot more options from a writing perspective.
Missed your betrayal, Mitch, for the clip, so you're lucky. Oh, well, you know, you can always look at the VOD for it.
So in addition to that little ban icon, there's a follow icon in the speech bubble. So if someone's talking and you want to follow them, you can just like click that little icon and the camera will track around with them.
Oh, really? Okay. I'll try that next time. Here we go. Yellow material. Let's follow them around.
I think they're outside.
They're outside the hive.
We'll see them. They'll come back in a second.
Oh, here they come. Hey, you got a party hat on.
Nice hat. Hang on, which one are you? Oh, no, you got the bog roll. Nice. It's a tiny hat.
Oh, which one? Oh, it's the tiny bee. Hat.
You can mouse wheel to zoom in a bit further if you want.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
Oh, no.
So if you go back to the throne room and go to the bee list, you can get a list of the chat bees and follow one specifically from there.
Is there a throne room shortcut?
Yes, home on the keyboard.
Vanessa Amorossi. There's not enough room.
Wow.
Special bees. Oh, look at all the bees.
Go to chat bees and it'll...
Chat bees. Love it.
There you go. So click that follow icon on yellow materia.
Oh, yep. Okay.
And then you can use... Yeah, zoom in. There we go.
Zoom in.
Nice.
Oh, hang on. Lost the... No, here we are. Look at that.
So I...
Block that Valiant Cheese character.
I don't know if it was before we did the interview or after we did the interview, but I made a game about toilet paper supply chains.
That's very topical for
yeah.
The crazy world we live in now where toilet paper is somehow...
The thing that I wanted to communicate with it was that in the kind of situation that we're in, there can be shortages without people panic buying.
Yep.
So if you imagine that, people spend 2/3 of their life at work, right?
Yep.
And that means that you're going to be doing, let's pretend that you poo all night. But you're going to be pooing 2/3 of your poos at work using work toilet paper. And so if you start working from home, suddenly you've got to buy, without panic buying, in order to meet your just general needs, even before you start thinking, well, it might be nice to have a little bit extra just in case. That's a huge increase in the amount that people are buying. And most workplaces don't get their toilet paper from the supermarket. Most workplaces get them through like wholesale channels. And those supply chains are entirely different, which means that of course we're going to see empty shelves. It's not people being selfish. It's the fundamental inherent brittleness of highly optimized just-in-time supply chains.
Well,
and
I think
I made a game that kind of explores that a little bit.
What Josh is saying is, even if you don't panic buy, just societal shifts will cause shortages.
Yeah, because like the way that the just-in-time supply chains work is that everything's managed. The logistics are managed such that there's only a certain amount that's in the store. Everything's shifted in the past 20 years, 30 years, from like stores don't have out the back as much as they used to. Now all that's been converted to shelf space, and we rely on 2 trucks arriving every day to keep everything coming in. And so if there isn't the sort of transit infrastructure there to ramp up to meet extra demand, or even if you don't know that extra demand is coming and you can't allocate for it, then the warehouses might still be full of stock, but we can't get it onto the shelves fast enough. And then I used to work in one retail place, and my understanding was that they had a bunch of automated logistics stuff where they had a system that would try to balance the storage of stuff across different places. And I got to imagine that those go kind of haywire in the kind of situation we've got where there's a massive shift in buying behavior.
Well, that would rely on like an algorithm, right? And then like suddenly it doesn't apply anymore.
Right, the situation is entirely different.
Yep. Like when a bear destroys half your hive, and then you can...
Exactly. I got to say, we haven't had very many disasters here today.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Just using our very intense conversation about economics
Right. All it takes is like a little bit of change to the availability of transit infrastructure. If there's a bunch of fires that close down roads or something, or an increase in fuel prices, or some truck that's discovered to be a death trap and so they're taken off the road or something, like that can have a huge ripple effect on everything. And it's not always down to people being selfish. Like, we don't have to blame all of the other people in the same boat as us. We can maybe blame the whole everybody trying to cut corners and reduce idle stock and be less prepared for dealing with fluctuations like this.
All right, well, during our very intense economic... but it's easier to blame people, every politician.
But yeah, the thing I was getting at was that toilet paper hat is meant to be a reference to... to supply chain. Oh, nice, you got them upgrades.
Yes. I didn't actually get the wax assembler upgrade, though, so I might do that now real quick.
So the upgraded production facilities allow you to also, like, in addition to the passive bonus that they give of just dumping stuff into adjacent storage cells, they also allow you to manually control the priority of resource production.
Right.
So if you click on one of them and go into the production screen, there'll be a little slider.
Oh, okay.
Where you can say, all right, well, I want honey to be lower priority than everything else, or whatever is suitable for what you want. So it's kind of like the resource reserves, but changing things a little bit subtly again.
Look at us, solving the problems of the world with bees.
Nice.
I really find building animations quite satisfying in video games. Like, even though yours just like rise out of the ground, like I
had dreams of doing something more elaborate, but it works.
Like one of the reasons why I liked playing the Terran race in StarCraft, back to StarCraft again, is because
I love that.
It actually seemed like the building was being built, whereas like the aliens, the Protoss would kind of just like yeah, the Zerg was kind of made more sense because like you kind of saw it evolve, but like the Protoss would just like put a portal down. And it's like, oh,
yeah, we're just gonna warp stuff in.
Yeah.
Those lazy Protoss.
Yeah.
I always thought that Zerg were interesting because it's like you got little cool I don't know, jellyfish thing.
No! Wasp attack!
Oh no!
Oh, we don't have any defenders. Alright, well now might be a good time for us to get to know the defender abilities.
I kind of like playing without defenders, because it means that I'm more likely to see events that I have to recover from.
Oh, okay.
But I understand that that's not everybody's cup of tea, and you know, they do play a role in allowing you to avoid events like that. But like, what did we lose? We lost maybe, I don't know, 50 nectar or 100 nectar or something. We got plenty. It's fine. And like, it's not like we're low on bees either.
Mm-hmm. So these red zones, they are dangerous zones.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't be sending them there.
No. If you do send them there, then there'll be a chance for them to die, or like 1 in every, I think it's 10.
Right.
Or maybe somewhere between 5 and 10 bees. 1 in every 5 or 10 will die.
Yep.
If you have defenders that are deployed outside the hive, then they will die in place of the forager that would have died at that point. So that allows you to continue to get resources coming back into the hive, but you're kind of sacrificing your defenders in order to do that.
I'm really glad chat's paying attention to these voting things on the side, because I always miss them, and then I notice the effects happen. I'm like, why did that happen? It's like, oh, okay.
My hope is that the icon looks like a present with the speech bubble above it.
Yep. Okay, so I've noticed VLCB down here is shining. What does that mean?
Just press space and...
oh, yeah, right.
There he is.
Yeah, VLCB.
It's furry.
Let's follow him.
So the chat bees have little speech bubbles that fall out behind them.
Right.
The equivalent of chat bees that are just the normal special bees, they'll have one of 3 or 4 different trails, and these sparkles are one. There's also a bubbles one, and one that's like hexagonal dots.
Oh, Yellow Materia says they're a little bit tricky to see. I think you're referring to the voting things on the side.
Yeah, one of the downsides of making a game for a jam and then later deciding that you're going to turn it into like a whole thing is that there are decisions that you make that may not necessarily be the best decisions. And so I didn't make a scalable UI. The game was designed to run at 1280 by 720. And I think you're running at 1920 by 1080 here, which means that, I mean, it's still playable, right? For you as a person playing the game. Yeah. For people watching streams and stuff, you know, it might be in a window or it might be on a phone, so it gets shrunk down even further. But again, like a chat integration wasn't something that was planned at all way back when I first started doing the jam version.
And was it so? I know you posted a video of how chat integration kind of works or how you built it. So how does it the game actually tap into it? It takes the I forgot the word for it. It could just take the chat and analyze it for the commands.
Yeah, so Twitch expose a IRC interface. Now, IRC is like an open standard for a particular type of chat protocol, and it's like an open thing, and it made a lot of sense for me to support that, because that means that when I support that, it's not just supporting Twitch, sorry, it's supporting anything. If anyone wants to set up their own IRC server, they can do that, and they can run Hive Time and talk it to that. So the idea of not being explicitly tied to any particular platform is very attractive. But what that does is I can connect to it via IRC. Now with Twitch, you need to authenticate if you want to receive messages via IRC, or send messages, sorry. If you want to send messages, you've got to authenticate, which would mean like getting you to make a token and storing tokens and stuff, and but reading messages is anonymous, and that's what allows it to be done with so little setup. All you got to do is press the pre-fill for Twitch button and write in your channel name, and that's it.
Because it can just passively be there.
Yeah, it just reads every single message, and if the message starts with an exclamation mark, then it will try and parse it as a command. If it starts with a hash, it'll try and parse it as a vote.
Right.
If someone has, like, if a nickname has been, so anybody who talks gets put into like this list of active chat users, and if that name ends up with a B attached to it, then anytime we get a message from that name, we'll just show it via a speech bubble.
Pippa says, can you pre-authenticate a bot?
Could I make Hive Time like an actual Twitch app? I could, but that requires a whole bunch of stuff that I don't want to do. So in order to get access to the Twitch, to a like actual Twitch API key, you need to have a mobile phone. I don't have a mobile phone.
Right.
So that's that.
So you actually need, you need a phone to do this, like.
Yeah. So if you want to go through the API, you need an API key.
API. That's what I was.
Oh yeah, sorry. That it stands for.
Yeah, that's what.
Something programming interface. I'm a programmer, and I never bothered to learn what API stands for. It might be application programming interface or something.
Yeah, I think that was the term that I was looking for when I couldn't describe what I wanted to say.
Right. Yes,
but then I realized what you were talking about didn't need it.
Yeah. So using open standard just makes so much sense.
Yep. So yellow material, I believe what Josh was referring to is to access, for lack of a better term, the back end. Maybe it's not really the back end, is
sure.
it? Is for the game to start contributing to Twitch, you need the API. But for the game to passively read Twitch and then do its own thing, you don't.
Yeah. And it also means, like, if I had to store a password or an authentication token, I would need to store that securely. I wouldn't really feel comfortable doing what many games do, where they just store it in plain text next to the game, like save files or something. I'm like, that's not a good way to do that. Mm-hmm. And the engine that I use doesn't offer any kind of secure storage, functionality built in, and I don't, that ends up being platform specific, and it's just a rabbit hole that I, if I could avoid going down it, then that was beneficial.
Yep. All right, I need to do some cool storage, and I need to choose this very carefully. Wax, here we are.
Should add a special mode where it just, like, regardless of what you pick in the menu, it just picks a random cell type to build.
And that mode will be called Mitch's Nightmare mode. Surprise! I'm
pretty sure that'd be the camera.
Whoa!
Clip. There you go, surprise!
Ah! Look at the size of them. It's all bees all the time. Love it.
It's the queen wave. Some big bees.
The long slow road. Party of snails monks have stopped by. Oh, okay.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back. What are we thinking?
Sure, why not?
Let's do it. Give them the honey. Go on.
I'm wondering whether or not there's a... this build might have a bug in it that allows events that shouldn't fire more than once to fire more than once.
All right. Well, that's all right.
It's all good. How are we doing jelly-wise?
We're doing pretty good, jelly-wise. I think all I need to do is just build more places to put it, and then,
Yeah. Did you end up researching the upgrade?
I did. I did.
Yeah, sweet.
Alright, hang on. There we are. Trouble is, you need to, like, really...
Get out of the way, bees!
Hang on, no. I need... Wait, hang on. Destroy that. Oh my god, they've gone tiny. Or are they just normal size now?
That's just normal size.
Jelly, here we go. There we are. Because if I make a big cluster of it, then I can use the upgrade.
Yeah.
Which was actually what I was planning on doing with the wax down here, actually. So let's try it. Alright, so we gotta upgrade storage. Okay, so it's the middle one.
Yeah, it's always, if you imagine that there's that sort of cluster of 7 cells, every upgrade is, you click, or every cell that you construct or upgrade is always you click on the middlemost one.
Haha, look at that. Look at that.
Nice. Like I bought one.
Bam. Amazing. Love it. Population's looking good. So do you think you'll ever do like a super upgrade where like you like cluster all these together and just like make a big one?
So I had 3 post-release updates planned. The first one was the informational update, which added the Beepedia and was focused on a whole lot of onboarding things. The second one was going to be the monumental update, which added a new construction type called monuments. And monuments would be these like really big constructions, very high cost constructions that you could build that would be unlocked by doing certain things or having certain experiences. So if you survive like 5 bear attacks or something, maybe you can get a bear museum monument. And that might have some effects or kickbacks or something. But I like this idea of trying to create opportunities for the experiences that you've had to be resonant. So if you've had a lot of bear attacks and you lived through them, then the ability to build something that calls back to that experience, that reminds you of that thing that you lived through, gives more opportunity for the game as a whole to be resonant. And so, you know, you get your second queen and then you can build the generational monument. And every subsequent queen that you build, you can upgrade your generational monument to be a bit bigger or a bit more fancy. Or if you go to another hive, you get like the you've made multiple hives monument. So it would kind of fill a similar role to what achievements might fill in a game that was more doing extrinsic rewards, but presenting that sort of thing as an intrinsic reward that becomes a part of your hive and a part of your thing that you're doing.
Yellow Materials is in before Mitch is just Zerg mod for Hive Time. It just becomes. So I just what I want you to do, Josh, just make StarCraft again, but with bees.
Just like make the bees red. And shoot little like glaive things. And you know, that's give them predator mouths, and then just call them mutalisks, and we're all good.
All right.
I just thought the mutalisks were so cool.
Oh, wait, which ones were they? Were they the?
They were the flying ones.
Right. Yep. Okay. My favorite Zerg was the Hydralisk, the one with the ranged one. Yeah. That it's like the Zerg in all. Like if you look at all the. If the Zerg had like a promotional program, you would see the Hydralisk because like that's the Zerg.
It's the hero Zerg.
The hero Zerg, yeah. Oh, hello.
Nice.
Select new queen.
Did you want that upgrade that lets future queens provide random effects?
Let's do it. Hang on.
That's the bottom one.
Royal decrees.
Need 150 honey.
All right, let's wait for the honey to. Hang on. I might be able to. Production. Hi. That's how it works, right? Something's using the honey.
Yeah, the jelly production uses it.
Oh, right. All right. Let's just cancel the jelly production for a bit.
I saw you hovering over that upgrade button.
Yeah, I did. I was like, ooh. I was like, nope, I don't need it. But I can upgrade it while I'm waiting, right? So then it'll be ready to go later. Oh, wait, no, it used jelly. Okay. Alright, hang on.
Well, we're nearly there on the honey front.
Research, what was it again? 150, okay.
Yeah, we're 124 at the moment.
What am I missing?
I can see a bunch of bees converging on the honey refineries there.
I tell you what it is. It's this. It's the...
the reserve. Yeah, you can set the reserve from in there.
Yeah, hang on. So is it levels? Or is it... Yeah, oh, no, it's only from here. Wait.
Oh, levels and reserve. Same screen. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just bring that down a bit so the honey will go up. Look at me understanding economics. All right.
Nice. All right, we got
research. Oh, they do look pretty cool. Hexo release a new line of their range of programmable building block toys, inspiring a portion of Hive's population to become bee sitters. You're going to play with them. Kids these days.
To draw the little dots on the Hexo bricks was just took forever.
Oh yeah,
but it was worth it.
Are there some in the are there Hexo bricks in here?
No, it's just like I think there's a model train and some blocks and like a Tower of Hanoi puzzle.
All right.
Whoops.
Let's just do this. Haha.
Are we going to do that research?
Yeah, I may have completely forgot about that. And got distracted.
It's like the game gives you a lot of stuff.
There's so many things to look at.
Yeah.
So many things to see and do.
Look at this go. This is crazy. This is 1,000. Like, you think about the, is it the honey refinery is 100 or something? We've already done that. Like, you've got a big population of bees and enough places for them to work. It's just, yeah, so different. You're working at a different scale.
So the more workshops you have, the more bees you can assign to the task, right?
Yeah, so it's like 3 bees can work at any cell can support 3 bees working at it. So if every workshop you've got allows 3 builders to do their job, but they take breaks between work shifts. Here we go.
Right.
Oh no, a scroll bar. Oh, it's because Vanessa Amorossi is a really long name. It's wrapped.
Nice. All right.
Nice.
This hive is good. So do we send her off to do another hive? Is that what's happening here?
You go with her.
Oh, so what happens to this hive?
You don't get to come back.
Oh, really?
Save, so you can load that save. If you want to come back to the hive, but yeah, the idea is that you're following the lineage of queens around.
Oh, okay. But if I have that upgrade where I can have 2, then she stays.
Like you can have 2 at once now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, so do they just walk around?
Yeah, she'll just bumble around the throne room.
Nice.
And the queens grow as they get older, so it's not something that you're immediately conscious of. But when the first queen was young, she was that tiny.
Yep. Hang on. So Vanessa Amorossi is now walking around, and the new queen, right?
Vanessa Amorossi II. And she's got like half nectar harvesting, I think. Activity. If you mouse down the bottom right, it'll tell you.
Oh, down
the very bottom right-hand corner of the screen.
Oh, right here. Oh wait, no.
The other right.
Vanessa Amorossi 2.
Yeah,
oh, okay. Lifespan multiplier. Look at that. Brilliant.
Yeah, nice. I like when the music stops and you've got these like insects and bees buzzing and stuff, and it's just got this nice little sense of there being a world out there.
Yeah. Oh, hang on, better start this up again.
Oh yeah, that's probably needed. And those are all birds and stuff that I've recorded.
Yeah. So you're pretty into that, right? Like collecting samples and taking pictures.
I do a lot of photography.
Yeah.
The audio thing is kind of new, and I've really only done it when I needed sounds for a game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's fun. I really enjoyed. I've been prototyping a little game about digging up dinosaur bones and stuff, and I did Foley for that like a week ago or something, and just got a whole bunch of different bits of food and stuff, just put them all on the bench and made a whole bunch of sounds.
Nice.
So it's like a sound for digging dirt, but it's like me jabbing a fork into a bag of rice. And it sounds good, like it works.
Did you film any of that? Are you doing that? Because I think people would like to see that.
I didn't record it. I should have.
Yeah.
I took a photo. Well, I didn't take a photo at the time. I put it all away, and then later on, I was like, "Oh man, I should take a photo of that." So I got everything back out, except for the carrot, which I ate. So I got a new carrot out. And took a photo of it all.
Yeah.
Sitting on my bench next to my microphone.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I'm going to release that prototype this weekend.
Oh,
probably.
excellent! On just on itch.
Yeah. It's just a little thing.
Cool.
It's a little way from being a full game, as it were, but it's kind of fun, you know.
Yep. It's a bit of an adjustment.
Just a tweak.
Yeah, just a tweak. We're in building mode. We'll see if the hive can survive.
Probably need more workshops for those guys.
Yeah. I've kind of like built my workshops into a corner.
You got 2 empty spots there.
Nope, it's rolls, isn't it? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Rolls.
So you can
Workshop.
right-click to close the current menu if that's helpful.
Oh, right. Workshop, here we go.
There we go.
There we go. Builders, go and build your workplaces.
Build your new workplaces, yeah. Can you imagine if you had to do that? Like you're going into a new office and you've got to go and put up all the plaster and stuff?
So the upgraded workshop, can that support more bees working at it? Or is that...
It's still the 3 bees per cell rule still applies. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Vote for number 3, people.
Oh, we're voting for number 3? Nice.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Luke.
Hey,
party loaded.
I don't want to diss Mitch's rig at all. But if it looks excellent like this, then it will look amazing if you have shadows and particle effects turned on.
Oh, okay.
Which I think we turned off to make it run a bit better on your.
I think we turned it off as a precaution. It might actually be able to do it.
Oh, maybe. I mean, we could turn it on if you want.
Oh, the cold season.
But,
should we risk it?
Well, it's a big hive, so.
Well, we can always turn it off again, right?
Let's turn particle effects on.
Yeah.
Let's turn it all on. See what it looks like.
Turn it all on. Let's do it. All right, hang on.
I think we've got
video
anti-aliasing off. Yeah, it's all in video.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so leave anti-aliasing off because no one's going to see that on stream.
I am going to.
Well, wing transparency is something that I disabled by default because I think it looks better with the solid wings.
Okay.
Depth of field looks like garbage.
Okay, no depth of field. Smooth follow cam. Let's do it. Play queen animations. Oh, yes.
Oh, weird. That should be on. I mean, it was playing animations. I guess I was triggering them manually.
All right,
let's go see how that looks.
Will it break?
Let's cross our fingers.
Resume.
It's having a thing.
Uh-oh, this is not a good sign. Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
What do we think of that?
I think it looks a lot better with shadows.
Nice.
Nice.
Hey, Marcus Plays Stuff. Welcome. Welcome all. So if you're just joining us, welcome. My name is Mitch, and this is Hive Time, and I'm joined by Josh Bush, aka Cheeseness, the developer of this game.
And we're about to hear some incredible music.
Oh,
composed
yes.
by Peter Silk, who did the game soundtrack. I'm just going to shush and let it happen.
Okay, let's do it. It's happening. The Beatles! Yep.
So I get people asking me, is this a real Beatles song that you licensed?
It's kind of like a fan art for a piece of music, isn't it?
It is a tribute for sure. 1000%. So initially I was like, haha, foragers, like people like why do bees want to turn into foragers? Oh, there's a rock concert outside that they want to go to. And Miriam drew that picture of the Beatles as Beatles, which kind of looks a little bit like them, and we were like, haha, that's funny.
Yeah.
And then Peter saw that, and he was like, oh, I totally am going to do a Beatles-style track for that.
Yeah.
And he had done that, and he was going to record some kazoos for the audio.
Yeah.
And, obviously that sounds great. But I was thinking, how about we write some lyrics? Because... because, like, when you're performing kazoo stuff, like, it's easier to, if you've got stuff in mind, you can be deliberate about what you're doing and it sounds more authentic, right? I was hoping to write it, but I had a migraine and didn't have time to manage to do it. I think I was sick at the time as well. And Peter ended up writing something that was amazing. And if you want to hop into the Bpedia now, I think we can go and listen to it.
Oh, really? Okay, hang on.
Yeah, so there's a button in the middle of the screen with a question mark on it.
Yes.
And if we go over to the World tab and down to Beatles... and
Beetle facts, I love it.
Change topics a couple times. One of the Beetle facts is going to be the thing that we're looking for. So if we switch to caterpillars or butterflies or something.
Oh, yep. And
then back to beetles. Let's go again. All these photos are mine.
Oh, here we
go. Press that little button on the right. And it came out so good.
It's pretty good.
And it sounds pretty authentic.
It does. And is this also on the Bandcamp?
Yes, this is included in the downloadable version, so you can't listen to it on Bandcamp, but if you buy the soundtrack, you get this track.
But there you go. So Luke and Party Loaded, I don't know if you saw his comment, but will Hive Time be at PAX 2021?
Look, I really think it is fundamentally irresponsible to run an event of that scale while there is a pandemic on, regardless of how big an impact it has here in Australia. So long as the World Health Organization hasn't rescinded pandemic status, I think no.
Right.
No chance at all. Which is sad, right? Like, it sucks.
Yeah, but I can definitely respect that, yeah.
Yeah, just interstate travel doesn't make sense when there's any cases in Australia, and yeah, it's just, it just seems reckless.
Oh no, Party Loaded died.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, totally fair. Yeah. I noticed the music's still playing, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, this is a full-length track as well. The version
amazing.
That's on the event only goes for, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds or something. But it's tricky, right? Because, our contemporary governments, our contemporary cultures, our contemporary societies have never had to deal with anything quite like this.
Yes. Just seeing how my father map went in this direction.
I kind of would... I mean, I'm probably not going to do it because it would require a bunch of deep changes that are kind of difficult to justify right at this point. But I kind of like the idea of if I had infinite time and infinite resources, it would be nice to allow the play space to expand indefinitely as your hive grows.
Right. Yep. Oh, a Piverus just died. Oh well.
I'm sorry. I feel really bad when champions die. Like, I don't want them to hang around because, like, the game's only balanced to have, 2 special bees, and then you got 100 chat users or something kicking around.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that people who are streaming shouldn't have as many chat bees as they want. Like, that's fine, but the game's really not geared towards super long-lived bees.
Yep.
And a lot of the mechanics are about the population churn, as we've talked about.
Yes. Yeah.
And these long-lived bees kind of make it more difficult for you to see the impact of your population changes because they take so long to die and be replaced by the next generation.
Oh, we got the regular soundtrack back.
Yep.
Oh, the Pilgrim's Return.
They're back.
Look at that. Amazing.
Where is the where is that caterpillar? That caterpillar should be back at some point. Oh yeah.
Forgot about the caterpillar.
I don't know if you've seen the full chain, but it's got 3 events in it. And then Caterpillar comes back as a successful dancer in the second one.
Oh, really?
Which is cool because it feels like that's the resolution, and then there's a bonus one on the end that's unexpected and makes for a good joke.
Mm-hmm. All right. What else have we got here?
How's it running with all those settings up?
I think it's doing all right. I don't think it's any worse than it was. Yeah.
And it's better than the first release of the game.
I did notice when it got to about this size on the first build, my computer was like, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I didn't want to put any hard limits in because, like, at some point, someone in the future is going to want to play it on a machine that's capable of doing more, right?
Yep.
So I didn't want to like put any limits in. I guess like I can build big enough hives that make my computer slow down, and I'm kind of like, well, if you want to do that, then go nuts. But it's up to you to build as big or as small as you're comfortable with, and yeah.
Yeah. So Luke just asked, what tools / engine was the game built with?
So I made this in the Godot engine, and I did all of my 3D models in Blender. I did all the UI in Inkscape. I did all my sound editing in Audacity. All open source tools.
Nice. There you have it.
And of course, coming out of this, I also made a couple of upstream commits to the Godot engine, contributing back.
Yep.
A couple bug fixes here and there.
People always forget that, like, open source software, it's like, that's also part of it. Like, not many people actually send and, like, actually contribute back to it. Yeah. Participating is more than just using the tools. Because I know I use a lot of OBS, and I definitely haven't. I don't think I've contributed at all.
And I got to say, like, compared to my experiences with, say Unity, for example, where like every engine has bugs. Unity's got bugs, and you just, when you hit something that doesn't work the way it should, or it doesn't work the way you need, you just kind of go, well, that's the nature of it. I can't really wait for someone upstream to fix it for me. I'm just going to try and work around it. Having the ability and power to just, change that or fix that or make it do whatever you want is, for me at least, is a lot more empowering.
Haha, this time, nectar on purpose. In before they start turning orange, it's like, no! Yeah, this is very satisfying to watch when they upgrade themselves.
And I want to be clear, that's not saying anything bad about Unity staff or Unity support. It's just that their release cycle is not as responsive as me just making something work how I want to make it work for me, for my project, I've have worked with a few Unity people to identify and resolve issues in the engine, and they've always been really responsive and supportive, and it's been fantastic in the cases where that's been needed.
That's really cool, because like words like Unity and things like that is people hear those words, but they don't actually know what it is. Like, and Blender and things like that, because like after every video game you play, or even after every movie you watch, there's like, oh, it was made in Blender, or it was made with Unity. Some movies are even now like they credit Unity in them. I think I think the last MCU movie I watched had like a Unity thing, and it definitely had a Blender thing, but I think it also did have a Unity thing at the end of it.
Yeah, lots of people are using game engines for real time stuff these days.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't actually know what those words actually mean, like Blender, Unity, that sort of thing. And
yeah, until you sit down and use the tools, if you haven't done that sort of thing before, it can be really hard to appreciate exactly what's going on under the hood. Man, I love it when there's like a stray cell blending the line between two cell types like that. I dig that so much.
Alright, now we can upgrade the storage. I really like this upgrade storage thing, and like, very cool. And then it all fills up again. It's like, yeah, nice.
It gives you like 30 extra storage as well, without taking up any extra space.
Oh, yeah. So party loaded says engine support equals sometimes the bigger beast, and the bigger barriers.
Yeah. So like you do have these situations where a larger company, suffers from more inertia. It takes a little bit longer to get things rolling, and it takes a little bit more effort to get something off the ground because it's got to be justified in a whole bunch of additional ways. Like I'm making my own engine for Winter's Wake, and the amount of time that I have to wait between hearing back from support and actually getting something done is zero because it's me.
Yeah.
But if I've got to talk to a support person who then has to like log that in a system, and then that gets put in a queue, and then it's some like weekly meeting that then gets assigned to somebody who looks at it, who then has to verify it, and like if you've got like workflows that are aimed to make stuff robust, like the difference is that I can forget what I'm doing and then not do something a week later, whereas if you've got more a little bit more bureaucracy in place, that can help make sure that things actually happen. Hey, let's get those fireworks going.
Oh, yes, let's do it. I actually might vote for that. How do I do a hashtag on an iPad? Here we go. 1. Boop.
I think if you zoom in a little bit, you might be able to... Well, no. Don't want to be zoomed in too far. Just a medium zoom around the throne room.
Around here?
Yeah, that seems good. You should be able to hear the fireworks, which is all of the UI sounds and some of the sound effects in this are my silly mouth sounds. Fireworks is one of them. There was another thing that was going to be temp, but it turns out that people like that stuff, so it's
Ninja fruit flies.
Oh, they're back.
No.
And it's like, hang on, have a look at the notification, see how much honey they actually took.
Yep, okay. Is it down here? Oh, they took 4.
Well, they're small, right?
Yeah. It's really funny because when a lot of people are chatting, it's kind of like the bees are talking to each other. It's like, are you going to PAX?
Great.
It's like, oh yeah, this bee's going to PAX. Okay, cool.
I love it when people's bots end up as bees, and it's like there's a bee telling you to hydrate every now and again,
Oh, it's happening. Hey! Look at that.
It kind of sounds like fireworks.
Oh, should I zoom in? Hang on. Hey, no, I can hear him. Too bad it's got the depressing betrayal music behind it.
Yeah. Down, you ninja fruit flies.
Well, what we can quickly do is...
Or just put some different music on.
I'll just... Wait, where is it? World? Beatles? No.
I was really happy to bring all my photos into the BPedia as well. It's fun.
So you took all those, huh?
Yeah. I think there's 2 photos of bears that I didn't take.
Oh, okay.
Because, I have not taken a photo of a bear in person before.
Bears are a bit of a stretch.
Oh, and there's a photo of me recording bees at a local honey farm that Miriam took that photo. But everything else was by me.
All right, well, I think with the fireworks, I think this might be a good place to end for this evening, I think.
I think we did well.
Yeah. Look at our hive. How long did it take? Almost 2 hours.
Your first queen isn't dead yet, so... It hasn't been 2 hours.
Oh, yeah? Oh, it has been 2 hours. Time left, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of don't want to see Vanessa and Rossi die this playthrough.
The nice thing is when they die, you get a little portrait of them that sits in the back of the throne room.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've seen that or not.
I don't think I have. Alright. What do you think? Should we just wait for that? 12 minutes.
Yeah, let's check that out.
Let's check that out. Alright, let's keep going. Oh, and Aperverus died. Sorry, Aperverus. Unban Nightbot and it'll spam the links. Should we unban Nightbot? Hang on. Load Hive settings.
It's in community settings, yeah. Down the very bottom.
Manage blacklist. Here we are. Alright, fine, Nightbot, you can come back. Resume. Haha.
Resume.
It
picks up the music where you left off.
Oh,
so good.
Nice. It is a little concerning to have like just the clock be running out on the queen in the corner here.
I mean, it's kind of like your bees only live for 90 seconds. It's
That's true.
At a bigger scale, right?
All right, let's do some foraging.
You got to select the explore button.
Aha, there we are.
We've got plenty of bees. Ooh.
Look at that.
So that one's got pollen in it. The other one's got nectar.
So to pollinate, you
need defenders.
Oh, I need defenders. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get that started then. Let's do some defending.
So defenders were sort of like the defenders and foragers both. The defense screen and the foraging screen were the sort of last things to go into the game, and the two management systems that I'm least happy with.
Yep.
I think if I, again, if wishes were horses and if wishes were horseflies and time was irrelevant, then I'd love to rework the foraging screen to make it so that you can only select foraging zones that are connected back to the hive.
Yep.
Just to kind of force you to be thoughtful about how you're allocating your zones. But also, I would really like to have this idea of over foraging a zone. So if you've got too many foragers out,
right?
If they're all too concentrated on one area, then it will yield less resources, and so in that way, encourage players to sort of manage that a bit more. But it's tricky as well because everything else has been designed so that you can choose to not engage with it if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you research jelly storage, then you don't need to do any other research. It's possible to get a new queen without doing anything else. You can play through the entire game without making any defenders. You can play through the entire game without touching the foraging screen.
Yep.
You can kind of set your population sliders once and kind of forget about them. I mean, we haven't really tuned them much here during this game either. So, and that was an important thing to me, was to just kind of go, well, here's all these systems. You can interact with them if you want, but if you don't want to, then just ignore them. It's fine. And in that way, it provides a lot of different valid play styles. And if you sort of start pursuing any kind of user-driven goals, you can potentially come up with some interesting combinations.
So the defenders, they will. Do you need to build multiple barracks around?
Yeah. So you can see that there's.
So they'll overlap and. Or does one just cover the entire area?
So we've got like 2 or 3 next to each other. We can see like these blue, large blue hexagons. They're the coverage of those individual cells. If you mouse over the cell itself, it will pop up the adjacent cells.
Right. Yeah, I did just notice that.
Yeah. So that's the region. That's how far they go. If you upgrade one of them or 2 of them, it's a cluster of 2 that gets upgraded.
Yep.
If you research that, but that'll have a much bigger area, and it'll research in no time because it's. Oh, we don't have any nectar.
Oh, no.
Have we set any nectar reserves?
You know what? No, I don't think we did.
Have we upgraded? Oh yeah, we have upgraded some cells.
Nectar reserves.
It's plenty.
Yeah, it's plenty. Nice.
So yeah, if we go back, we can do that research now.
Research. There we are.
Yeah, watch that.
Oh, it only takes 40.
It'll take longer for the bees to get there than it will for the research to finish. There we go.
Nice. All right. So
you click on the topmost one.
Oh, this one? Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah.
And upgrade.
And the posters on the back wall of the upgraded barracks are concept art that for events that didn't end up getting used. So it's like a wasp there and a bear.
So the bar's going. So that's they're on patrol, right? So they.
Yeah. So the bar is like how long will the coverage that these defenders are providing last. So like when a defender visits a barracks, the cells surrounding that barracks get defense coverage for a period of time. And so if you don't have defenders regularly visiting the barracks, then they won't, they won't get protected.
All right.
And that's how I sort of wanted to make you manage that population and be thoughtful about how it's... how you're utilizing that resource. Because obviously you can deploy them outside as well to help with guarding against encroaching bears and so forth.
So that one will be up here. Wow, that's a big area.
They're much bigger, yeah.
That's pretty generous. I mean, that...
Yeah. You don't need a lot to get good coverage.
So will overlapping them make more coverage in that area? Or...
No, it just means that if one of those barracks doesn't get visited before it expires, then chances are another one will cover it.
Right.
Or if something comes, if a bear comes and you don't manage to drive it away in time and it blows up one of your... Or maybe a crazy vine hopper scientist blows up half of your hive. It'll mean that you do have the ability to have some redundancy.
Oh, here we go. A new line. Oh, wait, this is the building blocks one.
It's the Hexo one, yeah.
Dude, this is so cool.
Do you ever have Mindstorms? I never had a set, but I was just completely in love with the idea of them.
I had something that was not quite Mindstorms, but it was still Lego.
Right.
But
because they had a couple of different things that were like
it was not
robotics kit things.
Yeah, I had one that was not quite as intelligent as Mindstorms. It was kind of just like Mindstorms was programmable. And you could expand it. Mine was just like an engine with a couple of programmable... Yeah, like you could program like timers into like the one engine, but like not much else.
Yeah, it's cool.
Which is still very cool. But Mindstorms was definitely more programmable.
Yeah, and expensive.
Yes. But I've seen what people are now capable with like their new version of Mindstorms. It's pretty crazy. There's a particular YouTube channel that just solves engineering problems with Lego that I always get suggested, and I really like it.
I don't know if it's the same channel, but I saw one channel where a guy was using Lego bricks to like just chain together tons and tons of gears.
That's the channel. That's the channel.
He was like melting his bricks.
Yeah.
He got stuff going so fast it was melting his bricks and stuff.
And I think he also does like stress tests, like how much weight can you possibly lift with just Lego?
Yeah.
Just by using like pulleys and gearing and all that good stuff.
The stuff I've seen didn't have any commentary. It was just like, here is a minute's worth of video of this test being done. It has a little bit of text at the beginning explaining what's happening, and you just watch it, and it's intensely captivating, way more than I thought it would be.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we are definitely talking about the same channel. Uses a lot of red, right? It's like red, red girder pieces. Yep.
Yeah. I think they also did chain together a lot of gears to make a thing that would do a revolution in 1,000 years or something.
Right. I think my favorite one is he makes a submarine, and he makes a submarine out of like a Tupperware container and Lego, and he will outline the problems that he's facing. Like, okay, the submarine doesn't go up and down. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the solution I did to make it go up and down. All right, now there's a new problem. It turns weird. And it's a really fascinating YouTube channel. Was the thing you were thinking of Lego Boost, Mitch? Okay, here's what it came with. The Lego thing I had was a big mechanical like AT-AT from
Star Wars.
Except it wasn't like, it was more of like a Whereas like a normal AT-AT Lego set would like look like an AT-AT. This was more a mechanical thing, so it was a Star Wars thing, but this focused more on less of like looking like an AT-AT, but more like working like an AT-AT.
Yeah.
So it was a Lego Techniques thing in as opposed to like a normal Lego thing. But I can't remember exactly what it was called. But I remember it being Mindstorm-esque, but it just came with like one engine, and then it would just like the legs would just move. It was a very cool set. It has long since been cannibalized into my big Lego box. It's sitting behind me, actually. I need to find a place to put that. But I just can't bring myself to get rid of my Lego. I can't do that.
I enjoy my Lego. Yeah. I've got a bunch. You know what? They don't make it anymore, and it's kind of sad. But I was so into M-Tron. M-Tron was like the best.
Is M-Tron? Is M-Tron?
It's the one with the magnets.
Oh, okay.
From the 80s and 90s.
That might be before my time. Although I did inherit.
I'm old.
I didn't inherit. I did inherit. My Lego was actually inherited from someone who was a lot older than me. So my Lego is
nice.
My Lego all looks like in the Lego movie. Oh, cold season.
Yeah, I had some like classic space stuff with the old helmets that break in the middle real easy.
Yes, all my Lego is from Benny the Spaceman's that character. So like all my Lego looks like that. But it's all in like it's just in a big box, but all of it looks like that. Yeah, it's like all that style.
That's so cool. It's like M-Tron's like colors were like red and black, and these neon green cockpit glass panes and stuff.
Yes. Yep.
And they have magnets and stuff in them, and yeah, just like this idea of Lego in general. You make stuff, but the moment that you put magnets in it, things can interact in interesting ways.
Yeah.
Like I had a motor, and I could like make things drive around, but making things be able to pick up other things and stuff was definitely just a different kettle of fish.
So Party Loaded, he's found the exact AT-AT set you described on eBay. USD $600. Nice. What?
What's the kit number?
What's the kit number, Luke? No way. Surely it's not worth 666 US.
People pay a lot for Lego.
Kind of wish I took better care of it now, because I still have it, but it's just not in all the bits that it used to be in. It's now mixed in with all my Lego because I was an irresponsible child and didn't keep my Lego set separately. But really, are you meant to do that?
I mean, it's nice to just build stuff, right?
No!
Vanessa Amorossi,
Amorossi has died! This is... Oh my god, it's in a coffin and everything. Oh my goodness.
That the coffin's not really big enough for the shape of the bees that we've been seeing.
Oh my goodness. Well, that is amazing. Vanessa down.
All right, let's go and look at the throne and go into inspect mode. Zoom right in and go into inspect mode.
Now you can call her Vanessa. Are you making jokes, Gianni, about our beloved queen?
Respect.
This is why we banned you. Oh my god, there she is.
So press space to go into inspect mode, and then you can click on the portrait.
Gone but not forgotten. This portrait has been hung in memory of Queen Vanessa Amorossi, who reigned for 1 hour and 28 minutes and 14 seconds. Brilliant. Look at that. Amazing.
So a friend of mine, Aubrey Sir, who does like some of the Humble Bundle like game icon stuff, and he worked on Lugaru. I don't know if actually maybe he didn't work on Lugaru, but he definitely worked on Overgrowth, and he made a game called Trackless, which is really cool. He offered to paint the Queen portraits, which came out really well.
So are there different ones?
Yeah, there's like 8 or 9 of them.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
The throne room's got room enough for 15. portraits, and
wow, okay.
The B list now allows you to see more than 15 queens worth of portraits if you want.
Cool. All right. Well, with the death of Vanessa Amorosi, I think that's
Vanessa
a good place.
Amorosi II is still doing great. You know, like the Hive's in good hands.
It is in good hands.
The Hive's in good tassel claws.
There she is. She's stretching. Look at that. Vanessa Amorosi II will take us into a new age of Hive Time.
I hope Hive Time has been a good time.
I think Hive Time has been an excellent time. What do you think, chat? Excellent time? Let us know. But yeah, I think that's a good place to end for tonight. Put a bookend in it. I think we'll be back in Hive Time. Maybe not on Thursday evenings, but maybe we'll try it. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. It's gone upside down. But maybe not on Thursdays, but I think we'll be seeing Hive Time again sometime in the near future. Thank you very much for joining me, Josh.
No, it's been fun.
And thank you very much for bringing us Hive Time. So, for those of you interested in checking it out, you can find it on itch. Just search up Hive Time, I think. That'll probably pop up, won't it?
Yeah. Sometimes it's on the front page if you're lucky.
Ooh. And, hey, was it on the episode? I saw you tweet about it being on the Chaser.
Oh, yeah, it was on the Chaser. Or the Chase, or whatever it is.
The UK? The UK Chase?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, anyway, you can find it on the Chase, whatever.
Yeah. It's funny, like, obviously that's not going to translate into any attention for the game, right? Like, it's one question during a rapid-fire question round. The number of people who are actually going to remember is tiny. The number of people who are actually going to care to look is even smaller. Mm-hmm. And the number of people who are interested in B games is going to be smaller again still.
Yeah.
But it's still very welcome and very, very nice. And if I had a way to thank the writers for the show, I would be happy to thank them.
Mr. Hodgepants, thank you very much for watching. And everybody else, thank you very much for watching. But yes, search the game up, Hive Time on itch. It's available there. And you're at Cheeseness, right? On Twitter?
I'm at Valiant Cheese because someone else had Cheeseness.
Oh, okay, at Valiant Cheese. Anyway, all this will be in the information links below this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll turn my big camera on. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Mitch, and thank you very much for joining me, Josh.
Thank you.